branch closing is very interesting. This is the 7th episode of the 3rd season of The Office. This is directed by Tucker Gates. And as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And honestly, I feel like I say this a lot with The Office, but I'm so desperate to watch the next episode and find out what happens next. It wasn't completely ending on a cliffhanger. We do generally know what to expect in the next episode, but that might not play out, or it might do, and it might be amazing, which I'm fully expecting to be the case. But I will talk about this as we go through the episode. It starts off with a really brilliant introduction, actually. Jim is faxing something, and it turns out he's faxing Dwight, but using some of Dwight's stationery that he stole when he moved from Scranton. But he's faxing him pretending to be Dwight from the future. And honestly, I kind of put myself in that situation, in Dwight's situation, and thought, how would I react if I received, for example, an email? I'm kind of opening myself up to somebody doing this now, but if I received an email from somebody claiming to be me in the future, that would just be absolutely baffling. Please don't do that. But I thought it was very funny. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we have the main narrative kicking in. Jan visits Michael, and the board has voted to close the Scranton branch, which nobody wants to hear. Some people will be moved to Stamford. Some people, the majority of people, will get a severance package. And we have a variety of different responses. There's obviously panic as people feeling uncertain about things. We have some people really happy about this. Pam was looking on the bright side. And she pointed out that sometimes at home she answers the phone Dunder Mifflin, this is Pam, which I have to say amused me quite a lot. And Ryan's kind of cool about this. Either he'll go to Stanford or Michael will write him a letter of recommendation, and he has an out for getting out of this, whatever this relationship is with Kelly. Kelly is distraught. So a lot of different responses there. I like the fact that some people are able to look on the bright side. I do find this episode quite anxiety-inducing. I have been through a redundancy thanks to Brexit. I was made redundant in 2016 for it took me a few months to find work, and those anxieties are very much still there. So in some ways, it's quite a hard episode to watch. But at the same time, that relatability, that knowing that many people unfortunately go through this, and that maybe there are positives, if you can find a positive, then I think that there's a comfort there as well. And Michael decides he's not going down without a fight. So he's going to go and see the CFO and tell him he can't shut down the branch. And he takes Dwight with him. And I'll just sum up this bit very briefly. I don't have too many thoughts on this. Basically, he's out of office, so they decide to go to his house, and he's not there, and they spend the episode there waiting for him. And that's basically it. There was a nice moment where they were reminiscing about some of their early Scranton memories, which was quite sweet, but it's not my favourite part of the episode. Jim actually inquires about who might be moving over to Stanford, and I don't know what he was thinking. That sounded aggressive. I don't know what he wanted, because when he said that, I thought, oh, maybe he's hoping Pam will be transferred over. That was my instant thought. But a little later on, something happens that made me think that's not what he was thinking, and I will explain what I mean by this. Josh got a job at Staples. So Jan's not happy about this. Apparently the whole restructuring was basically centered around him being offered this position, and Jim got offered the position as his number 2. And Jim was very happy to take up this opportunity. But because Josh is going to Staples, which is very funny, they have to try and work out something else. And the next thing we know, Jan tells Jim they're closing the Stamford branch. Some people will go over to Scranton, and she offers Jim the same position at Scranton. And this is where I got confused about what Jim wants, because he basically said no. There are some bad memories there, and obviously this is Pam, and that's why I was kind of confused about what he meant or what he was thinking when he asked who's moving over to Stamford. I absolutely thought he wanted Pam there, but then if he's not wanting to go to Scranton, then I genuinely don't know where his head's at. Jan goes over, she's supposed to talk to Michael, but obviously we know he's not there, so she just announces it to the office, Scranton staying open, and Angela hugs Kevin. it is the first time Angela has ever shown a positive emotion. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Because even when she's interacting with Dwight, who she maybe loves, she's still very negative. But the relief of knowing she still has her job meant that she just instantly hugged Kevin. And it was a lovely moment and everybody's really happy. And Pam asks who's coming over from Scranton. And I think Pam definitely wants Jim to come back. I absolutely believe that. And on the way out, Phyllis actually tells Pam that she heard Jim's coming back. Don't know where she heard that. But then, in the final scene, or one of the final scenes, Jim tells Karen, actually, he will take that job. Scranton's not too bad. And he told Karen, and this is where I might get a little bit frustrated. He told Karen, if you do get offered a job at Scranton, you should take it. And Karen then tells the camera that she's happy about that. She doesn't think Jim is into her, but she is into him. Well, tell me something I don't know. And this is, again, I don't know. The problem with Jim, and it's not a problem, but the problem with Jim is that he's so nice. Not to Dwight, but in general, he comes across as a very caring person. There are plenty of times when he's helped Michael out, even when Michael's being a bit of a butt. So I think he's just genuinely nice and friendly to Karen because he's generally a nice and friendly person. But him telling Karen she should come over to Scranton, is he saying that because he likes her as a friend? Is he saying that because maybe he's trying to move on from Pam and Karen is a viable romantic interest? What I want is for him to see Karen as a friend and to go back to Scranton and for Jim and Pam to start dating. What I don't want to happen is Jim to go back to Scranton, Karen to go with him, and then Jim and Karen start dating. I do not want that. They have dragged out Jim and Pam for 2 and a bit seasons, and I need something to happen. I need something positive to happen. And honestly, I'm desperate. I'm absolutely desperate at this point. So very excited to, it seems, get Jim back in Scranton. As I mentioned, I've probably mentioned this a few times now, I was devastated when he left the branch. I know he's still in the show, but I really missed his presence. I missed him being in the branch. I missed him winding Dwight up, even though he still has the ability to do that. I missed his camaraderie with Pam. I missed him being there for Michael in Michael's times of need. And it looks like, I haven't looked ahead and I will not look ahead. I don't want any spoilers, but it looks like we're getting that back. So they basically teased us for 7 episodes and made us feel like that was the end of that. And now it looks like we're getting it back. And I'm so excited. I'm so ridiculously excited. And to think 2 seasons ago, I was potentially going to give up with the show because it just wasn't working for me. And then it just, I'm a little bit obsessed at this point. I cannot wait to watch the next episode. Branch closing is not what I expected. And even if I did expect this, I wouldn't have expected it so early on in this season. No idea what's in store for the future of this season. And I'm really, really looking forward to finding out.